Okay, I went and stropped my knife, sharpened it a little bit. And when I say I sharpened my knife, I don't go and sharpen it. I go and strop it to make it carve easier. Alright, we're down to the part now where we are so we're going to have to take some more. We're still too square, and as you look at the legs, of course they're too big, they're thick, so we'll have to come some more of this off in here. All right. And here as well. Now our back here, or our behind here, is getting to where now it's getting shaped very well. And we're start to kind of shape the legs a little bit. Of course, they're going to have to be brought down. Now here, these legs, of course, are way too thick, and they'll have to be brought down as well. Okay. Just continue taking off some where it's starting to look now the way we want it. The back end here starting to really see the back here, and we want to come down with these legs on the outside. This, of course, has got to come down. It's too thick. And this here, the shoes are in this area. And the same thing here. You just sort of look around your piece here, and you take out a little bit more. And look at that. Now it's starting to really look like it's in the position that you want it to be rounded. Now we're going to cut in between here, and we're going to come on both sides in between here to sort of open that up in there as the so it will look like, of course, that the legs are, and we can still take a little bit more off in here. And a little bit, you can't hardly see this, but it's in here. It's deeper in here, cutting deeper in here to give that in between the legs look. In other words. Okay, we're getting, and we just want to come in here and move a little bit. So we're getting down to where we want our piece. As you see, the legs themselves. Now, and we began to take some off. Now our shoes will be, the pants will come down like here. So we want to go, let's go ahead and take that off and bring these shoes down, okay? On both sides. Do that. So that we can get those shoes down to where we want them. And then we get the legs down to where we want them. Excuse me. Had to do something there. It rained very hard here last night, so it is cool. Actually, it's very nice, I think, but it's cool and damp. So, and we want to begin to get these shoes in a way. Okay. And bring these shoes down. Be careful with our hands along here. We don't want to slip. Okay, you see that, how the shoe is made? And we're going to bring this down here. Now we're going to go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and make a heel on this shoe. Okay. Come across like that. And because the bottom of the shoe is being shown, I'll exaggerate that heel a little bit, maybe a little deeper than normal. Be careful in this area. There it is, see? And we want to take off a little bit in here. Let me get in there. Let's get my knife in there. Okay. And we want to get the saw marks off in this area. Okay. Here we go. And we want to kind of get in there and straighten thin this up just a little bit. And let's go ahead and do the same here. That's the foot that's going to fit. We can come up a little bit higher. This is all going to have to be simply done like this. That will be a little bit higher. And this is going to be done here like this. Where the shoe and the legs a little bit smoother in here. Just kind of, it's hard to see. I know it's hard to see me when I'm have the knife turned this way, but I'm cleaning this off in here. See, like this in here. You're not going to be able to see every cut, folks. You're just not, because I have to turn the knife in certain ways, and you won't be able to see every cut that I make. It just won't. So look, see? It's starting to look. I'm going to take a little bit more off in here to separate that between the legs. And this in here. Just have to kind of. There we go. That's why a good sharp knife is very necessary to do a piece. You need a good sharp knife. There we go. Now, see what we're looking at? See what we've got. Have to kind of round, shape those areas in there. Have to come in here, shape that, take off a little bit more in there. Okay. All right, so we're getting this bottom part pretty much where we want it. Not completely, but where we can kind of now go to the other part, which is the curtain itself, in other words. Now, if we, all right, if we look at the curtain over his body, we see that it fits pretty good. This is way too high, so that's all going to have to be. And then we have the bottom parts that are cut to kind of look like it's flowing over his body in such a way. Okay. So what we're going to do, and this is going to, because this here comes down a little bit more. And they're going to come down just a little bit like this, where this shows up a little bit better. And that's going to have to be thinned down just a little bit. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and take off, begin to take this curtain down. I say a curtain, it's not a curtain, it's a, now on the back of this, we want this to flow and we want to take our knife and we want to make that kind of swing up like that, okay? Because it fits over the body is what it does. So okay, just like that, okay? Of course, it's going to have to be thinned up. And all of this in here will have to be, of course, thinned up. Shaped is what I meant. Have to be shaped. All these saw marks will have to come off. It will have to come further into the body itself like this. See? Where it's not too okay? And on each side we're going to have to come. Now what we want to do is in a little bit. Just like that. And whoops, took off a little, come this way with it. Went the wrong way there for a minute. Now, what we're going to do in a lot of ways is we want to thin this up. We want to get this down the way we want it. And we want to come thin this all up in here where it's close to the body. Because we're going to kind of do this number. Because what we're going to do, and I'll show you. Okay, now as we look at it, we see the situation here. Okay, and this is come up and now we don't have to worry too much about this area in here because the arms are going to be there, but the arms are going to have, but we don't want this too thick either because the arms are going to have to want it to look thinner, which is going to have to take, we're going to have to just take some off in here. That's going to have to be thinned up because we don't want it to look too thick along in here. Like for instance, this all has to be thinned up in here because we don't want it too thick in there. Like that, and even more, to be honest with you. Okay. And this all has to be thinned up, as you can see. In other words, it has to be closer to the body, okay? Now the front part is not as, but this part does have to be close to the body because all it is just a curtain over him. So it would not be real thick. Like that. Okay. Now, what we want to do when we kind of get it the way we want it is, let me show you the picture. We want to sort of make the folds in the folds in the piece itself to make it look like it's a curtain, in other words, over him in such a way. Now this part that we carve later is going to attach to the front of this, all right, and we'll show you how to do that, in other words, all right, because we'll have to rig that where this will fit flush against it.
Pencil is.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of come in here and we're going to kind of do this number. We're going to make folds. And we can do this with we can do this also with V-tools. We can, but in a way, there's folds that come up like this, in other words. But we can also do it with our knife. Just cutting V cuts. V cuts, V cuts, V cuts, V cuts. Like that. V cuts. Cutting with our knife. V cuts. You can do the same thing, folks, with your V tool. Okay, sort of like that, where it folds over. And then you want to come all the way over to the top where it just like that to the top, and you're going to go all the way around with it. Okay, all right.
See, we have to look at the
piece itself. Sorry. And you see the folds here. So you want to make deep cuts if you can, going back a ways, just like right here and right here and right here. And right here. Now you can actually even take something and work that out, but you don't really need to. And this is all going to come over and go across here to give it that form of the fact that it is a curtain coming over his